this lesson we're going to be talking about 3 properties of logs. Okay, so as we already know, logs are exponents, so the rules for logs and exponents are similar. Okay, the product rule is this: when you are multiplying, you add logs. And what I mean by that, if you think about it, when you're dealing with exponents, right? If I have x squared times x to the third, what is that answer? X to the fifth. What did I do? You added them. Similar with logs, okay? So right here, you have log base 6 of 3x. You can separate that into 2 logs, and it's log base 6 of 3 plus log base 6 of x. Because they're multiplying, you can add them. Okay? So multiplication and addition go hand in hand, which means division and what will go hand in hand? Subtraction. And if you think about it with exponents, if we had x to the 5th over x to the 2nd, what is that answer? X to the 3rd. What did I do? Subtract. So understand how logs and exponents go hand in hand together. Okay, so here, see how you have log base b of m divided by n. You can change this to be log base b of m minus log base b of n. Okay, here's with numbers, log of 17 over 3, that changes to log of 17 minus log of 3. Okay? So, now remember your power rule. When raising to a power, you multiply. So remember, if I had x to the 2nd power raised to the 3rd power, what do? You would multiply, and you would get x to the 6th. Okay? So this goes the same way, and what happens is, whatever your exponent is here, it gets brought in front and multiplies to the log. So that's what happens there. So see right here how I have this 4 is an exponent? The 4 will be brought down in front like it is right here, and then it's 4 log base 3 of y. On this one, log 4 is the same thing as 2 squared. So this could be rewritten as 2 log 2 because 4 is the same thing as 2 squared. Okay, so now our problems is they want us to expand them. So notice how these are condensed. It's a small log. They want us to basically stretch it out, okay, and make it a long statement. So the first thing you are going to do is see how we have 2 things multiplying to each other? So when they're multiplying, we change that to what? Addition. So how will I write it? Log 2 plus log of x to the 5th. Good. Now, is there anything else that we notice that we can do to this problem? Is there an exponent? And what do we do with the exponents? You can make it multiplication. So you can bring that exponent in front and multiply it to the log. So when I rewrite this, it'll now be log of 2 plus 5 log x. And this is the expanded form, which would be your answer. Okay, so example 2 is similar. This time they're dividing. Well, what do we do with division? We do subtract. So how will I write this to subtraction?
Log.
So we're going to write as natural log 7x squared plus, or not plus,
minus log y third.
Minus natural log of y to the 3rd. Good. Now, do we notice anything else that we can change here?
The exponent, so you can do the multiplication thing.
Before that, though, so look at each of them and make sure they're just like single terms or single variables. Do you see here how this is 7 and x squared?
Yeah.
And they're multiplying. So what am I going to do with this part right there? So this one has two terms with it that are being multiplied. So how can I expand that?
So they're adding
Right. So we'd write natural log of
7x.
7.
Or 7
Good.
plus x.
Plus natural log of x squared. And then I still have minus natural log of y to the third. You getting this, Alistair?
Yeah.
Good. What's my last step? Exponents. So my final answer is going to end up being natural log of 7 plus, what's going to be the next one?
3 natural log x.
2 natural log of x minus 3 natural log of y. Okay. What do you think we're going to have to do with number 3? You want to first change that square root into a,
Fraction.
yeah, like to an exponent. Good. So when I rewrite this, this will be log base 3 of 9x to what power?
1/2.
1/2. Okay. Now, what you have to be careful of is that this whole thing is being raised to the 1/2. Where you noticed before how it was just like the x squared was the only thing that had an exponent. This time, both of these have an exponent. Do you guys see that? Okay. But I have to get rid of that exponent before I can separate these. So we're going to bring the 1/2 in front. Okay. So we have 1/2 log base 3 of 9x. Okay. And then because the 9 and the x are multiplying, we can separate them, right? But when you separate them, since this 1/2 is in front of this whole thing, the 1/2 is going to have to go in on both of them. Does that make sense? Okay, so how will I write them? Do I need to pull a popsicle stick?
No.
Anybody want to tell me?
It's gonna be log
So it's going to be 1/2
or 1/2 log.
log base 3 of 9 plus 1/2 log base 3 of x. And that is the correct answer. Okay, example 4 should be pretty easy, I think. Try it on your own. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds. All right, so we're going to have to take care of, is there anything to separate by multiplication? The only thing there is your exponent. So how will I rewrite that? Anybody? Everybody? 3 log base 2 of x. And is there anything else to separate?
No.
No, that is my answer. Okay, so that was expanding it. Now we're going to work on condensing. So with condensing on my first one, when I have subtraction, subtraction is going to change to what? Division. Remember that your first number will go on top, your second number will go on the bottom. So when I write this, it's going to be log base 3 of what? 5/20. You're writing it to condense to one log. So it's log base 3 of 5/20, and reduce it if you can. Can that reduce? Good. Log base 3 of 1/4. And this would be my answer when I'm condensing. Okay. Example 6. What do you think you're going to have to do first on example 6? Before you deal with your adding, you always want to take care of, if there is a number in front, you want to take care of that exponent first. Okay, so this 2 that's in front, that's the only one that has a number in front, is going to move up and it's going to become what? Good. So this, we still have natural log of 6 plus natural log of 4 plus natural log of x squared. Now since everything's adding, that means everything is multiplying. So that means you have the natural log of 6 times 4 times x squared, which simplifies to be the natural log of 24x squared. All right, 7. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to try it on your own. If you get the answer, raise your hand. I'm going to come check it. Good.
And you can just leave it as x. You can just leave it as x if you want to. Yes.
Good. Okay. So on here, first thing you want to take care of is our 1/3 power. So I take that and make it an exponent. So I have log base 5 of 4 plus log base 5 of x to the 1/3 power. Okay, now that nothing is in front and it's adding, that means we're going to do what with each of these? Multiply them, right? So addition changes to multiplication. So we have log base 5 of 4x to the 1/3 power. And you could change this to be the cubed root of x if you want to, but you can leave it as x to the 1/3. And that's your correct answer. So on number 8, do you guys want to try this one on your own first? Okay, when you get your answer, raise your hand and I'll come around and check it.
Perfect. Okay. You need to first leave your, so this is going to be 2 to the 5th. Somehow you lost your 2. And this is going to be, there's an x, should be x to the 7th. Of the x then. So you're missing some of your numbers and letters. You got it, okay. Oops. Yes. You just have to keep, you won't have any pluses or anything in there.
Okay, so let me go ahead and start going through this. The first thing we want to get rid of is our exponents. So this 5 is going up. So this can be written as log base 4 of 2 to the 5th power. Okay, plus the 7, we have to move it up. So that means I'm going to have log base 4 of x to the 7th. This 4 also has to move up. So I have plus log base 4 of y to the 4th. Okay. So now everything is adding, which means I can change everything to what? Multiplication. So I'm going to have log base 4 of 2 to the 5th times x to the 7th times y to the 4th. And then you want to simplify if you can. Can I simplify 2 to the 5th power? Yes. What is 2 to the 5th? 32. Good. So I have log base 4 of 32 x to the 7th y to the 4th. And that is your answer. When you finish, you shouldn't have, when you're condensing, there shouldn't be any numbers in front of the log, and you shouldn't have any pluses or minuses. It should all be condensed into one statement. Okay? All right, questions?